Hey everybody, this is Modern Refugee. Getting ready to make tamales tomorrow, and making tamales is a 2-day job. And this is the start of it right here, cooking my pork. And I've got about 6 pounds of rough cut up pork shoulder in here. I've got one whole bulb of garlic that I just rough cut the cloves up. And I got 2 large onions that I got sliced up. Good tablespoon of salt, good tablespoon of black pepper, and that's just tossed in here. I'm going to cover this with water now, and I'm going to let this simmer all night long, and that's going to be the broth and the pork for my tamales. So tomorrow morning, when this is all done, I'm going to come back to you guys. I'm going to show you what it looks like at that point. We're going to work on making the rest of our tamales. Well, it is morning. As you can see there, my pork is cooked. I do have a bag of masa there. All the flour is pretty much gone from all the stores, but masa is still available. So if you have a chance to grab a bag of masa, grab that. You can use it to make tamales like this or tortillas. I'm going to strain my pork out of the broth now. We're going to need all that broth to make the dough for our tamales, and we're going to shred up our pork, and then I'm going to go over the ingredients with you guys. And here we have our corn husks. The corn husks should soak for at least a couple hours so they're good and pliable for what we need. And that's the first thing that I've got started here. I got my corn husks in the water and a plate to weight it down. Now we're going to start getting our ingredients together. And here's my main dry ingredient for my tamales. It's my instant masa. I got it here in my KitchenAid. KitchenAid's a really good prep item to have because I can grind meat with it. I can make large batches of bread with it. I can make, in this case today, large batches of tamales with it. Just saves me quite a bit of work. I got 6 cups of instant masa in there, and I got 2 teaspoons of baking powder and 2 teaspoons of salt. I'm going to add my broth alternately with this, along with a good cup of melted lard until it's the consistency of a real loose peanut butter, I guess. And I have my meat here that I strained out of my crock pot. This meat has cooked all night long. I tasted it for salt. I thought it needed a little more, so I added a little bit more. And I added about 2 tablespoons of ground cumin in it this time. Now, I'm going to add a good couple ladles full of my homemade green sauce into this. And I'm going to mix that in well. That's going to give me the base here for my meat. My green sauce I made a couple days ago. I made a video on that. I'll put a link in the description for that recipe as well if you want to make your own. You can certainly use red sauce for this as well. But we like our homemade green sauce, so that's what we're going to use. I'm going to mix this up here, and then I'm going to come back and show you a couple other things. And here's my masa. You can kind of see here what the consistency is. It's not sticky at all. That's what you want it to be so it doesn't stick to your corn husks. I put all my broth into this, and I also added about another, I'd say 3/4 of a cup of melted lard into this because my dough was a little bit too sticky. And I also put a big ladle full of my green sauce into this dough to flavor it as well. I got my meat all mixed up here with my green sauce, and I'm going to start filling these into the corn husks. I'm going to show you a little bit how I do that, and then I'm going to show you my improvised steamer that I have set up here. And here's my improvised steamer. It's just the same stock pot that I use to can small batches with. I just crumpled up a couple balls of aluminum foil, and I put my rack on top of it. It's going to float around on you a little bit until you get a little weight in there, but that's no big deal. And then I got my big ball here that I'm going to set in the center of aluminum foil to support my tamales. And then this over here is more of a traditional double boiler for tamales, but this one's pretty small, so I'm just using this here to supplement the big one because I don't want to be cooking tamales all day long. But it's the same thing. You just fill your water in there, and you put a small ball of aluminum foil in the center to support your tamales. When I got these cooking here, I'm going to come back and I'm going to show you what it looks like kind of in process. All right, I'm going to show you guys how I spread the masa in the corn husk here. I got my corn husk that's been soaked. I got it kind of shaken off here. I don't want a whole lot of moisture on it. I'm going to take about so much to start, and I'm just going to paddle that onto my corn husk, just like so. I'm going to spread it around good. I like a thick tamale, so that's what I make. And then I'm going to take a good portion here of my meat. I'm going to say a good couple tablespoons full. I'm going to fill this up. And then I'm going to add just a little bit more of my green sauce on there for flavor. And now I'm going to take this, I'm going to fold it over on itself, like so. I'm going to kind of force it down like that. Going to roll it. And then my end will get turned up, so it looks kind of like that. Well, here we are cooking. You can see my ball of aluminum foil in the center there for support. I brought this up to a boil, and then I turned it back to simmer, and I'm going to let this simmer for about 45 minutes or so, and then we're going to try one, see what they're like at that time. And here's what these bad boys look like when they're done. Just finishing up the second batch here. I'm going to let these cool for about a half an hour or so, and I'm going to let them set up, and then we're going to wrap some of these up and deliver a few to some of the folks in our neighborhood that could use them. That was the whole point of this tamale making project today, was to make a quick and easy food that can be warmed up here for whoever happens to be home during all of this. But anyway, just wanted to share how I went about doing this with you guys. I appreciate all you guys watching my videos out there. Appreciate all my subscribers. Hope everybody's taking care in all of this. This is Modern Refugee. You guys have a great day.